Hi, third grade. Happy Thursday and happy last day of April. I can't believe it's almost May and I can't believe that it's Thursday already. This time is just gone by so fast, and I'm really trying to slow it down a little bit and cherish these moments that I have with all of you on our Zoom sessions and all of that. So, hopefully, we can have a really fun time during our community classroom Zoom this morning at 10. So, before we get started reading, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you so we can talk about your assignments for today. We have a lot of fun things on here, so we're going to go ahead and get started explaining those. So, again, like I just said, I'll see you all at 10 for our community circle. Your digital journal today is slide 13, things that I don't miss about this. So I wrote on mine that I don't miss waking up at 5:45 every morning. The sleep has been really beneficial for my health. So it definitely makes a difference getting that little hour, not even hour, but that little extra time in. Independent reading, you're going to go ahead and fill out your reading log as usual. Okay, reading. Today you should be about done with your book report. There's a few of my friends who I've talked to, you know who you are if you're not done, but you can still put it together. So before you get started on that, I want you to cut out all of your different pages of your book report. And then I have a video here going over exactly how it should be put together and what it should look like. So I said on here, I gave you a reminder, you can add color to it, but I want it to be neat, and part of your grade on this is how it's organized. Are you following the instructions that I've given you? Okay, writing. Today we have a fun writing activity. It's an introduction to opinion writing. So Mrs. Madison had the book Hey Little Ant, and she went ahead and she read that for all of you. So what you're going to do after listening to the book on Seesaw is you are going to write an opinion paragraph explaining whether or not the boy should squish the ants or let it go free. And you know that with opinion writing, you want to be persuasive. Why should he squish it or why should he let it go free? You want to give your opinion, but you want to have reasons explaining why, and they should be strong reasons. So I gave you exactly what I'm looking for in your paragraph. I think that you are capable of writing this without sentence frames or sentence starters. I kind of gave you a few, like in my opinion, and things like that. Basically, what you're doing is the same thing that you are doing in Charlotte's Web. You're starting with an introduction sentence. What is the name of your book and what is it about? What is going on? Okay. Then I want to know your opinion. And then 3 reasons to support your opinion with your transition words. Okay. So, first, I think he should or he should not because. Next, last. Remember, the more that you have, the stronger that it is. And then in a conclusion sentence, just like you did with Charlotte's Web, when you are writing an opinion paragraph, you restate what you said. So, because of all these reasons, or all in all, I feel that, or I think that my opinion is correct. Okay? So, that's for that. Go into Seesaw and you'll see the activity. One, math, it's unit 10, lesson 10, and today you are going to explore finding the area of complex figures. So these are not figures that are just rectangles or squares. These are figures that look a little bit different than that. So watch the video. It's in 2 parts. I got cut off. So watch those 2 videos in order to have a better understanding of that lesson. Mystery science today. This one's quick for the actual science lesson. You're just watching the video today. What makes bridges so strong? Next week, actually, it's going to be the week after because we're going to go into social studies next week, but you're going to be actually building a bridge. So that'll be something fun to look forward to. But after you finish with your video, you are going to go ahead and complete the forces in motion activity assigned in Seesaw. Read my instructions. It's going to be a Venn diagram, and it tells you exactly what it looks, what I want, exactly what I'm looking for, and exactly how to do what I'm looking for. So go ahead and look on there. You're going to be taking pictures of pushes and pulls and putting these pictures in the correct spot in your Venn diagram, and then recording yourself explaining why. Today is Thursday, so it's library day. It's Rosie Rivera, the engineer, and what you well, it's an optional activity, but I thought it would be fun to connect that to you being an engineer and having your own maker's hour. So you have that. You have your other optional art activities. So it'll be a really fun day. So I'm going to stop the share and we are going to go ahead and read the BFG. And we are on the next chapter, which is called The Giants. But if you are so nice and friendly, Sophie said, then why did you snatch me from my bed and run away with me? Because you saw me, the big friendly giant answered. If anyone has ever seen a giant, he or she must be taken away hip switch. Why? Asked Sophie. Well, first of all, said the BFG, human beings is not really believing in giants, is they? Human beings is not thinking that we exist. I do, Sophie said. Ah, but that is only because you have seen me, cried the BFG. I cannot possibly allow anyone, even little girls, to be seeing me and staying at home. The first thing you would be doing, you would be scuttling around yodeling the news that you were actually seeing a giant, and then a great giant hunt, a mighty giant look-see would be starting up all over the world, with the human beings all rummaging for the great giant you saw and getting wildly excited. People would be coming rushing and brushing after me with goodness knows what, and they would be catching me and locking me into a cage to be stared at. They'd be putting me into the zoo or the bunkum house with all those squiggly and hippo dumplings and crocodile-dillies. Sophie knew what the giant said was true. If any person reported actually having seen a giant haunting the streets of town at night, there would most certainly be a terrific hullabaloo across the world. I will bet you, the BFG went on, that you would have been splashing the news all over the wonky world, wouldn't you, if I hadn't wiggled you away? I suppose I would, Sophie said. And that would never do, said the BFG. So what will happen to me now? Sophie asked. If you do go back, you will be telling the world, said the BFG. Most likely on the telly bunkum box and the radio squeaker. So you will just have to be staying here with me for the rest of your life. Oh no, cried Sophie. Oh yes, said the BFG. But I am warning you not ever to go whiffling about out of this cave without I is with you, or you will be coming to an ucky-mucky end. I is showing you now who is going to get eat up if they is ever catching even one tiny little glimpse of you. The big friendly giant picked Sophie off the table and carried her to the cave entrance. He rolled a huge stone to one side and said, Peep out there, little girl, and tell me what you is seeing. Sophie, sitting on the BFG's hand, peeped out of the cave. The sun was up and shining fiery hot over the great yellow wastelands with its blue rocks and dead trees. Is you seeing them? The BFG asked. Sophie, squinting through the glare of the sun, saw several tremendous tall figures moving among the rocks about 500 yards away. 3 or 4 others were sitting quite motionless on the rocks themselves. This is giant country, the BFG said. Those is all giants, every one. It was a brain-boggling sight. The giants were all naked except for a sort of short skirt around their waists, and their skins were burnt by the sun. But it was the sheer size of each one of them that boggled Sophie's brain most of all. They were simply colossal, far taller and wider than the big friendly giant upon whose hand she was now sitting. And oh, how ugly they were! Many of them had large bellies. All of them had long arms and big feet. They were too far away from their faces to be seen clearly, and perhaps that was a good thing. What on earth are they doing? Sophie asked. Nothing, said the BFG. They is just moochling and foochling around and waiting for the night to come. Then they will all be galloping off to places where people is living to find their suppers. You mean a turkey, Sophie said. Bone-crunching giant will be galloping to Turkey, of course, said the BFG. But the others will be whiffling off to all sorts of flung-away places like Wellington for the booty flavor and Panama for the hattie taste. Every giant is having his own favorite hunting ground. Do they ever go to England? Sophie asked. Often, said the BFG. They say the English is tasting ever so wonderfully in crocked scallop. Not quite sure I know what that means, Sophie said. Meanings is not important, said the BFG. I cannot be right all the time. Quite often I is left instead of right. And are all those beastly giants over there really going off again tonight to eat people? Sophie asked. All of them is guzzling human beings every night, the BFG answered. All of them except me. That is why you will be coming to an ucky-mucky end if any of them were ever to be getting his gogglers upon you. You would be swallowed up like a piece of frumpkin pie, all in one dollop. But eating people is horrible, Sophie cried. It's frightful. Why doesn't someone stop them? And who, please, is going to be stopping them? Asked the BFG. Couldn't you? Said Sophie. Never in a pig's whistle, cried the BFG. All of those man-eating giants is enormous and very fierce. They is all at least 2 times my whiteness and double my royal highness. Twice as high as you, cried Sophie. Easily that, said the BFG. You was seeing them in the distance, but just wait till you get up close. Those giants are at least 50 feet tall with huge muscles and cockles alive. I is the titchy one. I is the runt. 24 feet is puddle nuts in giant country. You mustn't feel bad about it, Sophie said. I think you are just great. Why, even your toes must be as big as the sausages. Bigger, said the BFG, looking pleased. They as big as bumplehammers. How many giants are there out there? Sophie asked. 9 altogether, answered the BFG. That means, said Sophie, that somewhere in the world, every single night, 9 wretched people get carried away and eaten alive? More, said the BFG. It is all depending, you see, on how big the human beings is. Japanese beings is very small, so a giant will need to gobble up about 6 before he's feeling full. Others, like the Norway people and the Yankee Doodles, is ever so much bigger, and usually 2 or 3 of those makes a good tuck-in. But do these disgusting giants go to every single country in the world? Sophie asked. All countries excepting Greece is getting visited sometime or another, the BFG answered. The country in which a giant visits is depending on how he is feeling. If it is very warm weather and a giant is feeling as hot as a sizzle pan, he will probably go galloping far up to the frisbee north to get himself an Eskimo or two, and it cook him down, or cool him down. A nice fat Eskimo to a giant is a lovely ice cream lolly to you. I'll take your word for it, Sophie said. And then again, if it is a frosty night and the giant's fridging with cold, he will probably go to get his nose towards the sweltering hotlands to guzzle a few Hottentots to warm him up. How perfectly horrible, Sophie said. Nothing hots a cold giant up like a hot Hottentot, the BFG said. And if you were to put me down on the ground and I was to walk out among them now, Sophie said, would they really eat me up? Like a whip's whittle, cried the BFG. And what is more, you was so small they wouldn't even have to chew you. The first one to be seen, he would pick you up in his fingers, and down you go like a drop of drain water. Let's go back inside, Sophie said. I hate even watching them. So the next chapter is called The Marvelous Ears. So we'll see what that is about on Monday. Okay, boys and girls, have a great day, and I will see you at our classroom community circle. Bye, everyone.